You've watched countless survival videos, but none prepared you for this level of discipline. This is not entertainment. It is the distilled practice of units that survive where others fail. What you are about to hear began as whispers in closed briefings and hardened into routine. The voice you hear is neutral, precise, trained to prioritize clarity over drama, because clarity saves lives. Preparation is more mental than material, focused on habits that become automatic responses, reducing hesitation and turning small actions into immediate reactions. Repetition, routine, and adaptation are not concepts. They are life-saving tools, and the foundation of all survival starts here. Practiced routine defines the operator, discipline in every movement, attention to details most overlook, controlled breathing, adjusted posture, repeated checks become second nature. Every small gesture, every silent verification, prepares you to act without thinking, transforming tension into control. This is where the difference between the unprepared and the ready becomes clear. Small habits multiplied by daily repetition create invisible yet absolute security. Preparation is not about equipment. It's a mindset that organizes your day and every decision. Redundancies are embedded in muscle memory, subtle actions that occur without conscious thought. Each routine reduces wasted time, eliminates hesitation, and transforms potential chaos into calculated responses. Imagine every anticipated action becoming a reflex, each reflex saving vital seconds. Discipline, repetition, and adaptation are the backbone of survival, and this is where the conscious operator is built. Most survival advice stops at lists, checklists, and generic tips. What civilians miss is intentional sequencing, how actions flow from one to the next without hesitation. Operators rehearse contingencies until reflex, embedding decision trees into their daily routines. Readiness begins long before a bag is packed. It begins in anticipation, in mental rehearsal, in invisible preparation that turns potential panic into instinctive response. Repetition, routine, and adaptation remain central. These practices are invisible but absolute. Gear is not just what you carry, but how you carry it. Placement for one-handed access, weight distribution to preserve mobility, and redundant functions assigned to different limbs or zones transform a kit into an extension of the body. Each choice is practiced until unconscious, converting conscious decision into fluid action. Proper sequencing, combined with intentional preparation, creates a silent rhythm that maximizes efficiency and reduces risk. Mental rehearsal is preparation in its purest form. Scenario loops run silently, error states are mapped and rehearsed, and failures are practiced until recovery is automatic. Automatic responses replace hesitation, panic, and delay. The trained mind sees beyond equipment to rehearse decision-making, allowing instinct to guide action in high-pressure moments. Sequence and repetition are the invisible tools that separate survival from failure. The 3-second rule is simple but decisive. 3 seconds to orient, 3 seconds to act, 3 seconds to stabilize. It prevents overthinking, compresses decisions, and replaces hesitation with rhythm. An operator hears a sound, processes the threat, acts without debate, then stabilizes to reassess. This split-second cadence is a scaffold for survival, a mental template applied to any pressure scenario, from immediate danger to urgent improvisation. Training the rule involves compressed drills, controlled failure cycles, and timed exposures that shrink the window for indecision. The mind practices choosing among 3 options, executing, and moving forward without analysis paralysis. Repetition reduces cognitive load, converting decision into action. Every practiced cycle strengthens the automaticity of response, ensuring survival instincts are sharper than fear. Beyond threat response, the 3-second rule governs medical improvisation, shelter selection, and signaling. It becomes a meta-skill, binding other techniques into coherent action. The rhythm teaches the mind and body to prioritize, decide, and execute under constraint. Applying this simple, temporal structure transforms hesitation into decisiveness, ensuring that preparation becomes instinctive and adaptable. Water is survival. Effective purification relies on 3 principles: separation, filtration, and inactivation. Brand names and gadgets are secondary. Understanding physics, chemistry, and solar energy is primary. Simple methods, like sediment traps, charcoal filtration in layered cloth, and solar distillation, work when gear is absent. The focus is replicable, low-maintenance techniques that deliver clean water without dependence on commercial products. Step-by-step improvisation matters more than tools. A sock filter captures coarse sediment, activated charcoal purifies further, and a final fine cloth strain completes the process. This approach treats improvisation as applied engineering. Choose materials carefully, process sequentially, and accept imperfect but safe solutions. Practicality and safety take priority over idealism, ensuring water is drinkable in any environment. Solar still construction offers passive, sustainable collection using simple containers, black cloth, and angled collection surfaces. It demonstrates that resourcefulness often trumps possession. Boiling is effective, but not always discreet. Solar collection preserves stealth, safety, and energy. Mastering these methods ensures survival under constraint and sets the foundation for effective movement and concealment strategies.
He stands in a dense, dark forest with tall trees and scattered mist, light filtering dramatically through the foliage. His expression is serious, focused, and confident, exuding strength and survival instinct. The scene is tense and cinematic, emphasizing shadows and contrast with earthy green and brown tones.
Moving unseen is an act of skill, not a cloak. Elite operatives choose routes that blend with civilian patterns or natural rhythms to mask presence. Each decision step placement, body posture, timing's deliberate. Developing these habits shrinks your detection profile and ensures movement remains controlled and purposeful in urban or wilderness environments. Urban concealment requires attention to shadows, crowd timing, and microterrain features such as gutters, alleyways, and utility corridors. Sensory awareness is essential. Listen for surveillance, observe human traffic flows, and adapt movement to avoid patterns that attract attention. Think in layers: visual, auditory, thermal, and train the mind to read spaces before entering them, turning routine movement into deliberate, stealthy action. Wilderness stealth extends these principles with scent discipline, wind reading, and silhouette minimization. Micro-habits like slow exhalation during exposed moves, stepping on vegetal bedding, and placing disturbances after passing reduce trace evidence. Stealth is inseparable from shelter decisions. Choosing hidden locations, minimizing signs of occupancy, and preserving energy while staying concealed ensures survival without detection. Speed and low signature take priority over permanence when constructing shelters. Minimal materials arranged with intent can produce livable pockets of protection in minutes. A micro-shelter shields against heat loss, conceals presence, and supports rest to fight fatigue. The focus is on efficiency, assembling a secure space with what is immediately available, while conserving energy and maintaining readiness for the next action. Candidate builds include debris lean-tos with inner insulation, trash bag tarps rigged to low branches, and micro-cave digouts behind natural berms. Anchoring methods, ventilation, and stability are emphasized without unnecessary complexity. Each construction choice is intentional, designed to maximize protection and concealment while minimizing time and exposure. Repetition and practice ensures these methods can be executed reliably under pressure. Rapid improvements can enhance comfort and utility, adding reflective surfaces to retain heat, improvising sleeping platforms, and shaping entrances to reduce wind and detection. Microshelters are not static, they evolve with the environment and the operator's immediate needs. Prioritizing speed, concealment, and adaptability ensures that shelter construction supports survival rather than consuming unnecessary resources. Fire is a fundamental survival skill, but dependence on standard tools can be a liability. Alternatives like battery and steel wool, lens refraction using urban glass, or friction techniques adapted to available would provide reliable ignition when conventional tools fail. Spark management, tinder preparation, and controlled flame growth are emphasized, ensuring fire is practical and discreet, minimizing smoke and light exposure. Battery and steel wool ignition works by creating controlled sparks in a safe, contained environment. Proper preparation includes a charcoalized pathway to guide flames, controlling burn rate, and quickly smothering or concealing the ember. These techniques allow survival operatives to cook, signal, or generate warmth without revealing location or compromising stealth. Friction fire requires careful selection of wood species, maintaining proper humidity, and using small tools or improvisation to reduce fatigue. Mental resilience is crucial during extended efforts, with a focus on methodical repetition until the technique becomes automatic. The most effective method is always the one that can be executed under pressure, combining skill, patience, and adaptability. Camouflage is not just color, it is control of the narrative. Disruptive patterns, measured movement, and timing create plausible presence that redirects attention away from real intent. Operators learn to shape perception to appear harmless, routine, or absent on cue. Deception is an act of skill sets, small gestures, and predictable behaviors used deliberately to blend rather than merely hide. Tactical misdirection scales from noise patterns to visual decoys. A controlled distraction, a false campfire, or a planted routine can channel observers' focus away from vital movement or resources. The economy is critical. The smallest, cheapest diversions often yield the largest returns. The goal is not to fool forever, but to buy time and space to act with advantage. Social camouflage completes the triangle. Rituals, timing, and conversational cues become shields. Adopting harmless habits, exiting with crowds, and mirroring local behavior reduce suspicion and preserve mobility. Deception in survival is a moral tool. When lives are at stake, It is calculated, reversible, and designed to protect rather than escalate conflict. The rule of threes organizes survival priorities with psychological clarity: air first, then shelter, then water. Each choice is sequenced to stabilize cognition and prevent panic. Operators internalize this order so it becomes instinctive under pressure, enabling rapid assessment of environmental threats without hesitation. Mental discipline transforms potential chaos into structured, actionable steps. Micro-prioritization is critical in dynamic situations. When hypothermia risk is immediate, shelter takes precedence over water. When smoke fills the area, improvised air protection can save a life. Each decision is measured, rapid, and guided by direct observation rather than rote checklisting. The focus is always on neutralizing the most imminent threat first. Prioritization also sustains morale. Securing small wins there, then shelter creates momentum that reinforces control and agency. Tiny, repeatable checks anchor confidence and reduce perceived disorder. This layered approach to survival ensures that physical and mental stability grow together, reinforcing both immediate and long-term resilience. Instant mental resets are practiced deliberately by operators to halt spirals of catastrophic thinking. Techniques include controlled breathing, 5-second sensory anchoring, and micro-actions that interrupt overwhelming thoughts. These methods restore clarity in seconds, allowing action to replace indecision. Each reset is brief, repeatable, and designed to anchor focus to the immediate environment and the next step, reinforcing calm under pressure. A compact sequence trains the mind like muscle memory. Pause. Identify 3 tangible objects in view. Anchor to bodily sensations, then act. By conditioning the mind to move from observation to decision automatically, hesitation is minimized, and competence is restored. These micro-resets are portable skills usable in any scenario, from confined urban spaces to open wilderness. Mental resets extend to team dynamics. Shared cues, pre-arranged micro-commands, and role clarity prevent panic contagion among group members. Just as physical skills are drilled repeatedly, mental skills must be rehearsed. Teams that internalize these patterns maintain composure and effectiveness, even when events unfold faster than anticipation. Ensuring survival depends on practice rather than luck. Improvisation is applied materials science in survival contexts. Operators fashion cutting edges from aluminum, reinforced handles with record, and use ceramic fragments as makeshift scalpel substitutes. Each tool is tested for durability and practicality, ensuring that when standard gear is unavailable, effective alternatives are ready for use. Creativity and safety are balanced, focusing on what works under pressure rather than what looks ideal. Safe improvised weapons follow strict principles, minimize lethal force when possible, create deterrence, and always maintain a clear escape plan. Everyday items transform pragmatically. Pens become punch spikes. Belts double as tourniquets, emphasizing that resourcefulness and foresight are more valuable than raw power. Each adaptation prioritizes outcome over form. Tool maintenance and redundancy are critical. Sharpen edges on improvised stones, reinforce weak points, and keep implements concealed for lawful survival. Regular practice ensures that improvised tools perform reliably under stress, while redundant systems provide fail-safes. Mastery of these methods extends survival capability and prepares the operator for the unpredictable, linking directly to resource identification and advanced foraging skills. Advanced urban foraging is built on pattern recognition rather than luck. Operators map overlooked micro-resources: edible weeds in sidewalk cracks, medicinal plants in abandoned lots, water catchment points on rooftops and gutters. Survival is not about random scavenging, but about pre-identifying usable zones in residential, industrial, and transitional environments. Every structure, every alley, and every drainage system is seen as potential supply, not background. Edibility, filtration, and risk assessment happen simultaneously. Food is useless if it compromises health. Water is useless if it introduces illness. Operators rely on layered verification: visual recognition, environmental context, and heat sterilization when needed. High-value targets include dandelion, plantain, purslane, ivy gourd, and wild mustard greens plants, ignored by the public but loaded with electrolytes, vitamins, and anti-inflammatory compounds. This skill goes beyond food. It integrates medicine, sourcing, improvised nutrition, and silent operations. The objective is to extract resources without signaling, desperation, or drawing attention. Advanced urban foraging operates in stealth, speed, and intelligence, converting gray zones into lifelines. From this flows the next progression: how to *** secure and move resources without becoming a target, ***, which is the foundation of *** Block 13. Resource extraction under hostile pressure, ***. Confirmo e sigo para o Block 13, *** Block 13. Resource extraction under hostile pressure, ***. Extracting resources is not just about finding them, it is about removing them without becoming prey in the process. Elite operators treat every scavenging action as a tactical extraction, where time, posture, and attention footprint matter more than the resource itself. Every motion is executed with pre-escape orientation. The rule is simple: if you don't already know your exit before you enter, you have already lost. There is no negotiation once exposed. Survival favors speed, invisibility, and minimal signature. Nothing is carried in a way that signals value. High-risk items are wrapped, disguised, or compartmentalized into trash-looking containers to deter predatory observation. The moment someone looks twice at you, you have already failed. Elite extraction is about leaving a location while looking like you found absolutely nothing. Never acting like you gained is more important than gaining. The greatest mistake civilians make is showing victory before survival is confirmed. This is where the game shifts completely, because resource extraction is not just a task. It is a magnet for confrontation that leads to the next critical escalation once you become a target. Survival shifts from environmental strategy to human warfare psychology. Elite operators enter a mental state where emotion is silenced, heart rate is managed, and all reactions are pre-calculated before threat even appears. They do not argue, posture, or attempt to intimidate. They instantly evaluate asterisk intent, asterisk capability, and timing, The objective is not dominance. The objective is control. The ability to act before violence becomes unavoidable is the highest form of survival intelligence. The threat is rarely the man who yells, it is the one who does not speak. Civilians often misread danger because they look for aggression instead of pattern breaks. Elite psychology is trained to detect silence, shift of stance, redirection of gaze, hand positioning, exit sealing behaviors, and micro-expressions indicating decision commitment. They don't wait to see what will happen. They move before the opponent realizes they have moved. Awareness is not passive, it is predictive. And this leads to the final and most dangerous layer of elite survival, one almost never taught publicly. Because when avoidance is no longer an option, when the moment has already snapped, survival becomes decisively active. That is Block 15, Offensive Survival Protocols. The unspoken last resort When avoidance and concealment fail and the window to escape has closed, elite training recognizes a final category of action reserved for survival: decisive, rapid, and strictly constrained by purpose. Create an exit. This is not about spectacle or domination. It is about interrupting a lethal sequence long enough to secure distance or aid. The mindset is surgical. Assess intent and opportunity. Choose the minimum force required to open a path, and move immediately toward evacuation. Every action is measured by a single criterion. Does it increase the chance of getting away alive and intact? Anything that does not meet that criterion is discarded. Operators condition themselves to treat offensive measures as controlled, reversible, and legally contextual. Preparation includes knowing local laws, understanding proportionality, and rehearsing responses that prioritize escape over engagement. Training emphasizes striking decisions, not techniques, and rehearses transitions from defense to movement so that any use of force is short, targeted, and followed by immediate withdrawal. The ethical frame is explicit: preserve life, avoid escalation, and use force only when every other option is exhausted and immediate danger is present. Finally, the true edge remains the combination of routine, mental resilience, and low-tech competence. Offensive protocols are the last link in a chain that begins with prevention, awareness, concealment, resource control, and contingency planning. When the unthinkable occurs, those who have rehearsed the full spectrum from calm resets to extraction to last resort action convert crisis into opportunity. The objective is simple and immutable: survive, escape, and rejoin safety.